right, well, welcome to our November second Saturday here at Studio 23. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, Education Coordinator at the Historical Museum of Bay County. I just want to go over some quick announcements before we let Megan take over. Starting this month through December 30th, we have a 50% off sale in our museum store on select items. And if you are a society member, you get an additional 25% off all store merchandise that you can also apply to that 50%. So we're practically giving stuff away right now. That's through December 30th. So if you need some stocking stuffers, we got you covered. Starting at 3 p.m. today, the Trombley House will be open for guided tours, and that's for free. And that's going to be over at the Trombley House at 901 JFK Drive. Some of the people that were actually there for the moving of the house back in 1981 on barge across the Saginaw River will be present, so you can ask them questions. They'll have photographs of the event, and Sue Vanderbrooks will also be there for a guided tour of the home. Let's see. Oh, starting, we have some other new programs going on at the museum, more than I have time to announce here, so I'll recommend going to our website and social medias to get you more up to date with that stuff. We also have some other stuff in the works, but for the time being, on Wednesday, November 23rd is our next no school day within the intermediate school districts. So during the administrative days when schools are shut down, the museum is now encouraging families to visit the museum and take one of our scavenger hunts with kids. If kids finish these or get close to, they get to pick out a prize out of a treasure chest in the gift shop. So kids will walk away with some goodies and some historical knowledge of Bay County. Also starting this month, on the third Thursday of every month, we're going to bring back our monthly City Hall tours. Those will be on the third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. and those are $1 a person, and I'll be the tour guide. Also on the third Thursdays of the month for kids, we're going to bring back the play group at the museum. That's at 1:30. This is a free program for kids age 0 to 5. The kids will be able to work with me. They'll be able to work with Delta College and the Michigan Learning Channel and the Bay Aranac ISD to talk, read, and sing and learn about some fun STEAM activities. STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And then it'll also be the third Thursday of the month. And getting back to the Trombley House on the 27th of November, that's a Sunday. They're having what's called the old-fashioned Christmas. The house will be decorated in the Victorian style. It'll be open from 1 to 3 p.m. That is also a free event, and they'll have crafts and cookies for kids, as well as a guided tour of the Trombley House. And again, pay attention to our website, Facebook, and Instagram for more updates, because we have a lot more in store for you for 2023. All right. So I'm going to introduce our speaker, Megan Koch. Megan recently obtained her master's degree in art history, focusing on the modern period. She teaches art history courses at Saginaw Valley State University and Monroe Community College. Megan recently accepted the position of executive director at Studio 23 and looks forward to teaching the Great Lakes Bay region about the importance of art and creative thinking. She says when not surrounded by art, Megan explores Michigan and in her free time with her family. And she says that they love the holidays and their Christmas tree is already up. So without further ado, here's Megan, and I'll let her take over from there.
Thank you for the introduction. I'm super excited to be here. This is my first presentation for Studio 23, so bear with me as I go. But I guess today we're just going to go through a brief introduction of what we do here at Studio 23, go through a little bit of a history, and then I'll explain kind of what we do here. So our mission is to support the Great Lakes Bay region by providing a vibrant art center dedicated to making the visual arts relevant and accessible to all. So being new in my position, I really want to focus on these last 3 words, accessible to all. So I want to make art less daunting for everyone, for kids, for adults, for everyone. We try to do that with our exhibitions. Our exhibition schedule is set for next year, but the following year, I'm excited to start planning some exhibits that will continue to broaden our community and our people that come into our space. So one of those is going to be a tattoo exhibit that I'm really excited to start planning. So we'll have tattoo artists' work hopefully come in and be on our walls, which will be really fun and different. And then we also have an exhibit that we would love to do that will take a lot of planning, but it is for visually impaired people. So we're really excited to start diving into that exhibit and making it come to life. Moving on to our history briefly. We started in 1959, and we did, here's the little timeline. So we started in the second floor of the Wieland Furniture Store. And after that, we moved to the Little Red Schoolhouse, which ended up becoming pretty deteriorated. So then we did have to move to the Thomas Jefferson Elementary School. After that, we ended up going to the Bay City Hall, and they ended up wanting to use the space. So we came to the Jennison Hardware Building. And so here, this has been our permanent home since 1998, so just 1 year younger than me. And with support from the Rowley family, we raised $500,000 for the build of our space here, and $1 million for our endowment fund at the Bay Area Community Foundation. It was very important to the Rowleys when they did help establish this space that we would build money for the future of our organization. And so thanks to their help, we celebrated our 60th anniversary here in 2019, and we underwent a $415,000 renovation, which was amazing, and 95% of that was funded through grants. We are a nonprofit, and we fulfill our mission statement that I just went over through 3 pillars: exhibits, education, and public art. So that first one is exhibitions. Amy is going to take you through our 2 current exhibitions after the presentation. And then we do have an upcoming one that'll start on November 26th, featuring the art of Bruce Winslow. So that one's going to be really, really cool, more abstracted and whimsical. So very interesting for me personally. And then we do have some upcoming shows for next year on here too. I know this is really small, so I apologize. And then we have education and classes. So we are currently sitting in our largest classroom that we have. Kids are typically in your spot, but we also have adult classes for drawing, painting. We have a clay workshop upstairs that Amy will take you through, colored pencil, calligraphy. I'll be teaching a couple art history classes in the coming semesters, combining art with art history. And then we do have like afternoon art for kids to come after school to do art, and we have homeschool. So homeschooled kids can come and do art here as well. All right, and then just a couple highlights. So right outside this door is gonna be our craft bar, and that is some pre-packaged, actually they're right here too, little crafts that you can take with you, or you can do them here. And they range from $5 up to I think 15 or 20. And there's instructions that come with it, super simple to follow, and you can make some art for yourself or for a grandkid or child or someone that you know would love art. We also collaborate with some local schools. Misty, she's our curator of education. She coordinates a schedule to go to Pinconning schools and Standish Sterling schools, so we send instructors, and they do art with the kids for a 6-week session. So they go once a week for 6 weeks, and then they are able to get art back into the classroom. Because usually art is the first thing to go when the budget doesn't coordinate well. And then lastly, we have our community involvement. So like I said, we really want to get everyone involved in the community here. We want to make art less daunting for everyone and make it accessible. So during the summer, we have our chalk walk that is right outside and on the streets. If you haven't attended it, I highly recommend it. I went a couple years ago, but it's been a while, so I'm excited to be back in it and very involved next year. And then we also have like events like our Black and White that'll be happening in our gallery in a couple weeks on December 9th that I invite you to come to. We'll have hors d'oeuvres, we'll have drinks, we'll have a live auction, we'll have a lot of art. And it'll be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. All right, and then just a brief introduction of all of our staff. So I have been introduced. Amy, right back there, she's our curator of exhibits and membership. She's been with us for quite a few years now, and we're very lucky to have her. She coordinates all of the exhibits that go on in both of our galleries, and she also does everything with our off-the-wall gallery that you will see during the tour. Misty is not here today, but she's our curator of education. She wears a lot of hats as well, works with all of the instructors, works with all of the kids, coordinates all of that traveling to Pinconning and Standish, and she constantly is looking for more schools to get into. And then right outside at the desk we have Emily. She's wonderful. She's the first face you see when you come in the building. And she started in April, so we've had a solid position there since April, and we're super excited that we can have that opportunity to have someone out there all the time. And then we have Amy. She's our financial officer. I am not good with numbers. I am a right-sided brain person. I like art and art history, so I'm very thankful for her and her expertise with all of the numbers here. And then we have Greg, and he is the one that cleans and scrubs all of these floors when it's covered with paint, and he keeps everything up to date here. So we're very thankful for him too. So that concludes just a brief little history of the presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Yes?
Will you ever bring back the gift bar? We had a gift gallery here.
Oh, like a gift shop?
Yeah, the gift shop. You ever bring that back?
You know, I've been told about it. Yeah, so our off-the-wall gallery is going to be very similar, and you'll see that as you go through, but it is at the back of my mind, I'll put it that way. Yeah. Anything else? All right, I will pass it over to Amy then, and Amy's going to take you on a tour.
So I thought the best place to start a tour is at the front door. This is Emily. She's the first face you see when you walk in, and she's more than likely the person that'll answer the phone when you call. As Meg said, we've been in this building since 1998. We had a renovation in 2019. And just a fun fact, the doorway behind you is the original doors from the building when it was first constructed. So I'm going to lead us all this way, and we'll kind of spread out into this hallway a little bit. So this side of the studio is called the Tabor Gallery, and right now we have artwork by our artist in residence, Boisali Biswas. Her exhibit is titled Metamorphosis of the Strands. Boisali was selected as our artist in residence in April of this year by our exhibition committee, and in a short amount of time, she produced new artwork to hang with a few pieces that she already had. Her inspiration derives from her own heritage. She's originally from India. She's lived in the US for longer than she's lived in India now, but she still has a deep connection. Her family is there as a place of home. So she uses that sort of rich culture of her heritage from India and combines it with the different cultures that she's collected throughout her life and her travels. On this wall over here, you'll see there's a piece that has a clothesline hanging across it. At her artist talk last week, she discussed how that clothesline has become a symbol in her work that she uses often, because when she visits her parents in India, when she looks out her window, she sees clotheslines hanging from every balcony and every possible place. So for her, it's very much a symbol of home, but I think it's also something very universal that we can all relate to and recognize. So this is the craft bar that Meg mentioned in her presentation. It's a great place to just pick up a short activity for the afternoon if you have kids or friends and you just want something fun to do. And they have everything you need except for a bucket of water to wash your paintbrushes. So now we are transitioning into the off-the-wall gallery. So this is, someone asked about the gift shop, and that actually used to be in that classroom before we were renovated. So we call it the off-the-wall gallery, with the idea being you can take your piece of artwork off the wall that day and take it home with you. So everything back here has been created by members of the studio here. Some of them are students here, some of them are instructors, some of them are just community members that are extremely talented and want to get their work out and have a chance to sell. Behind me, it'll be a little bit hard to get back there, but this is what we call our art nook. We installed this space in this last year. As you can see, we have some paper on the walls that people can come and draw and color and doodle. And we created this space as sort of an area where people can be hands-on in a very do not touch atmosphere. So this is our ceramic studio space. We have open studios on Saturdays, so Anybody that's registered for a class during the week has the opportunity to come in on Saturday and a few different times throughout the week to work on their projects. And we have ceramics classes 5 days a week now. I think we have 2.
Wow.
And so here's where some of the projects are stored while they're drying out. So now we are in the Rowley Gallery. It's our main exhibit space where we rotate about 6 to 8 exhibits per year depending on our schedule. So right now, this is the My Artist Statewide Juried exhibit. Our juror for this exhibit was Laura Whiteside's host. I'd like to draw your attention to just a few pieces in the show. One is the best of show on this front wall here, right in the middle. This is a colored pencil drawing. The artist's name is Julie Tislicki, and she actually teaches colored pencil classes here for us. So there was 1 Best of Show awarded by our juror and 5 awards of merit. She had a really hard time narrowing those down. So a few of those are Heartthrob, this large heart-headed person right here. Another is a graphite drawing of a young man on this wall. And so with that, I'd like to release you to explore the exhibit. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask.
Thank you.